Greetings, family, and welcome to another episode of Wake Up Africa. My name is Dr. Mumbi. How you doing? How's everything going? I really do pray, family, that you are well in all your ways and that you're moving into living life very much on your own terms, which means getting rid of all those other narrative interferences that have tried to define who you are, what your life should look like, what your future looks like, what your relationship should look like. Get rid of all of that so that you can know who you are at the core. And that is where you will find your salvation. That's where you'll find your liberation. That's where you'll find everything. Special shout out, of course, to our Patreon family. Definitely consider supporting us on that platform, family, so that we can bring more of the awakening news to you. The more support we get, the more we can dedicate to this channel because we are being pulled to other things, which we will be sharing here shortly. But we really do feel like the first phase of the mission is done, family. We made it. All of us together, all of us, Citizenry Alternative News. We raised the vibration of our people. We awakened our people. And we are now in a point where we're thinking in a unified manner about the atrocities, our collective disgust at the injustices that have been done against the melanated people is one of the main things that is actually causing Babylon to fall. But those are stories for other days. Because if you don't see Babylon is falling, then I feel sorry for you. Wow, I don't even know where you are. And family, I think like so much, we are in the age of information. And I think one of the most powerful things about this time, this season, and in the season of judgment, I think I've been telling you for over a year now that we are in the season of judgment where we are judging ourselves. We are being judged by the choices, by the energy we put out there. I think I'll actually do a separate show on that on my spiritual channel. But did you actually know? Just I think like sometimes us Africans fail to understand the nature of the beast because the beast has actually convinced us we're the beast. But those are stories for the days. So back in the day, London actually used to have human zoos. And there's a famous novelist who won an award, a famous African novelist called Nadifa Mohammed. And she's actually releasing, or she's the voice behind a new documentary examining the history of human zoos in the divided kingdom, in which African and Asian people were put on display to the wider public in a practice which is now deemed to have been deeply racist. Now, while Mohammed was doing the research on all the different human zoos that existed, she looked into the actions of some explorer called James Harrison. And in 1904, Harrison actually found a group of Bambuti from the Bambuti nation who lived in Africa, and they brought them, who lived in Africa, and brought them to the divided kingdom as part of a tour around the country, which many now describe as a human zoo. This breaks my heart. And the only reason I'm sharing this, family, is because I've realized that we are in the age of alchemy and transmutation. And what that means is like a lot of these painful memories are coming up for us to express them, to alchemize them, to see the nature of the beast that created them, and to say that that will never exist again, ever. And in doing that, the judgment is served. You see, for so long, Babylon has avoided its judgment because of this control of the narrative. But in the information age, where our group consciousness as a melanated people has become so fast, so powerful, where I know a thing and the next thing, my brother in Colombia knows the same thing in a blink of an eye. It's changed the game, family, because us as a melanated people, as the nine ether people, we have the more powerful group consciousness. But I think I'll do a separate show on that, family. So anyway, it turns out, family, that not only So in 1906, this one of the Bambuti women gave birth to a girl while she was in the divided kingdom in Bedford, which was stillborn. And the documentary makers found that the remains of the stillborn baby are still in possession of the Royal College of Surgeons Hunterian Museum in London, and the remains were part of its catalogue. So Hunterian Museum in London has a catalogue where different scientists can come in and look at different human parts, humans, animals, whatever. And in this catalogue was this African stillborn baby where scientists were allowed, to come and research it. It was still available to research. And Mohammed said that when they first found this out, they were extremely disgusted. And Mohammed added that she had been in touch with members of the Bambuti tribe within the Democratic Republic of Congo. You think they just pick anybody? You think the Bambuti were just picked out of the thousand nations just willy nilly like that? Babylon is way more premeditated. Babylon are pirates and grave robbers and cultural thieves, family. So she said, she had been in touch with the members of the Bambuti tribe who are unaware that the stillborn baby had been left behind in the divided kingdom. So I think like maybe, yeah, and was in possession of the museum. In their culture, the baby's not at rest until she has been buried in her own soil in the DRC. I don't know why I feel like crying. Oh my God, this is so terrible. But in our tears, family, we release all those things. It's so much that was done. So much was done to our people. And it's just good to know that our ancestors are back, our ancient ones are back. And really, this will never, ever, ever happen again. Because their reason they are back is to totally destroy this deviant spirit. It has no more room, especially in the new vibration that we're moving towards. That's why you're seeing anything attached to the deviant spirit is actually perishing and dying out. Just the thought of human zoos, family. I get emotional at zoos with our animals. I think that is such a curse still for us that we have, Kenyan giraffes in China and Kenyan giraffes in Belgium and Kenyan giraffes in Latvia and wherever. That is still a colonization of us. All of this is an abomination to nature, family. And we can't be disgusted at human zoos and then we're still going to like animal zoos. I hope you're on a level to overstand, understand, and understand that. So now what's happened is Mohammed and her team are actually trying to get this little stillborn baby girl back to her country. And she actually said, I think this in this particular case, the zero reason for the Hunterian to be keeping her body. It was probably taken illicitly without consent, was treated as a plaything. I think by this doctor, from the time she deserved the respect of being buried after almost 120 years. I'm still stuck on human zoos, family. I'll leave a link to this article. There's so much more she says. And you see, when we speak out, the Blair injustices before us and those who are committing those injustices all of a sudden are jumping all over themselves to prove that they're not causing an injustice. Because not only, I mean, after this outrage was caused, not only did the Hunterian Museum have to remove our little baby, the African baby girl, stillborn, from their catalog. But they even released a statement saying, well, I don't know, it's been 20 years since she was accessed, blah, blah, blah. But family, that shows that our silence is what has perpetuated the wickedness of Babylon. And we must learn to speak up against the injustices we see. But we bring this up not to put us back in that time loop, but to release the spirit of this girl and all those known and unknown to us whose remains remain in jars and in laboratories and in all kinds of terrible situations. How many times have I talked about over 90% of our artifacts, our instruments of power as a melanated people are still in the museums across Europe, and we wonder why we know no peace. But those are stories for other days. Definitely consider supporting us on Patreon for as little as $5 a month. Family, we have a lot of exclusive information on there, many more shows than what we've released here. Thanks to every single person that sends us a love donation through PayPal. There is a gift for you in the mail, so definitely check your inbox. Until next time, family. TUKO, PAMOJA.